Yeah. All right. What'd you say then?
Are you asking me personally?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I think I'm trying to change and spend the majority of my time internalizing. And then whatever is extra is an extra gift. I don't have to work at it. It'll
Okay.
come naturally.
In the midst of the process, the whole drop and pop thing happens. When you absorb energy from the field, then stuff in the environment or stuff in the life is going to become activated and animated. Your karma is going to come up.
Naturally.
So the wave response that you have might need to be very quick, or you might need to do a lot of externalization. You with me, Nicole? Taking in what I'm putting out? So did you get that? There's a lot of wisdom in that. I'm good at principles. I don't know if I'm good at living them, but I'm good at knowing them. I just keep on trying to learn it, you know? And that's something that I constantly talk about to educate myself. Internal speed wave response, oceanic perception. So what we're going to do today is change the world, because I ain't playing. And how we're going to change the world is we're going to change ourselves. Hopefully I got enough power in my hand to hold the world back so that you can relax with that guy and that bill and that future and that study and that whatever. Because another Bible statement, Maggie's give me the courage to just go ahead and talk about Bible things, which most people think is completely whack job, but I'm doing it anyway because out of the 1,000 books that I read and 1,000 philosophy, God knows, you know, it's just endless, right? Every day and every night. It's all I do. Because I'm so disturbed that I need that much help. And all of those philosophies, all of those things, what's in that Bible is, and what's in that idea of like the intervention of somebody else helping, you got to have somebody else helping. I mean, come on. So the thing is that we don't do that. We play energy chess because we're terrified of being exposed by the other person. So we don't let anybody in. That's the echo all the time in this class, right? Not one person on the entire planet that's wise enough or trustworthy enough to mentor you. That must be a personal problem that we have. That couldn't be real, reasonably, that there's not one person that has enough strength to enter into our brains and into our lives and help. And that's like the Jesus thing. You got this, you know, person. So same thing. Let's talk about it to do with mentors and my favorites list. You know, it requires a split second of decision to say, I'm going to become receptive and become quiet now. I mean, the second that you say that, this is not prayer and study. Talking to Maggie there, of course. I don't know what Nicole's stuff is that way, but so what I mean is, science says 60 to 80,000 thoughts we have each day, right? 60 to 80,000 thoughts. So all the traditions talk about the monkey mind or the thoughts being out of control. So a lot of times reading things or praying things, if it doesn't result in silence, somebody said, if the words you speak don't improve on the quality of silence, don't speak them. That's some wise stuff. But we're so terrified of being revealed as being every bad name you could think of that people have called you or that you've called yourself, and plenty of them are true. Oh, no, I do it good. But so terrified of that being truth. You know, the beautiful contemplation about aging is that, boy, you got, if you're a little bit wise, you've got no choice then. You're falling apart. My wife and I were dancing a little while ago, and then I was sitting on the couch and going back and forth and kind of getting ready, and we're watching this great Mexican song, Toma Tima Dama Dama, Toma Tima Dama Dama, and we're jamming, right? And then I'm laying on the couch, and I'm like, yeah, but this is how you how you do it when you're old. You just kind of sit there. Toma, 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 rather than getting up and spinning and everything. So remember that wonderful quote by that great course in Qigong from the Tao Te Ching. The path advancing appears retreating. So if you look at your life, and let's see these notes. Look at your life and think about the time you spend on projects and everything. And I love hearing that answer that you gave, Maggie. And to think about, do you have to get up at 2 in the morning to find peace of mind? Do you have to do a drink or a drug? What do you have to do? I don't know. Doesn't work for me. I've tried everything. But I'll tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody. It's working. Basically, I get stronger and smarter as time goes on. Sorry, I don't say that. It's evil. It's like a boast, right? Don't know if I sink or swim. I don't know if I have trauma and tragedy and lose everything. I don't know if I'm the worst ass in the world or the beautifulest. I don't really know so much. But I do know historically over the last 20 years, I am an example of self-reinvention. Maybe not good enough for your eyes, because it's easy to point at me and dice me up. Because you can always do that. Easy to do that to another. How do you, but in my experience of life, yeah, it sure is true. But how do you internalize your presence? How can you do that right now? How can you get enough great contact? Contact is like the friend, the cat, and so forth. The Qigong is a game we play to be able to accept in the air that's in the environment, the energy that's in the environment. So in Qigong, they say that Shen is the most important consideration. What's Shen? Spirit. What's spirit? You could call it attitude. My mother said when I was a kid, I don't like your attitude. But she used to say attitude. And she would say, enunciate your words. Oh, that's what I looked like in 30 years. Okay, 10. Got here, time, evolution, word, finger squeeze. Oh, it's a little Qigong secret. Squeeze your fingers together. Yeah, and start breathing deep. What else do I have? Well, plenty, right? So the first kind of breathing is deep because you're saying, I'm now making a break for it. I'm going to train myself. Just like if there's a lot of dishes, just like a big project, a lot of homework, you're making a break for it. So doing that, you naturally remove the covering and you start to breathe deep inside of your inner self. Because your stuff and your fear, as it relates to the environment, one thing that's in the environment now is the crows for me. Crows are going to try and eat my corn. So that's kind of like a fear in the environment. Of course, it's a lot worse than that, but it's like a fear in the environment that if I remove my covering to my inner self, I can feel it. Are the crows coming? I got to get them before they get me. So when you do this internalizing process, you'll have to externalize to establish your field. You're going to have to make the establishment to make sure that your life is insulated so that you're becoming stronger. Andre wrote me this morning something about results and what's going on. How do I ensure that I'm getting results? Well, are you more relaxed? Are you happier? Are you becoming more, keep going. Are you becoming more spacious? Are you have more silence in your mind? You cannot do it yourself. That lady we were talking about who had the street ministry and all that, boy, she knows the idea of being humble and receiving help. Anybody with serious trauma knows the idea of being humble and receiving help. So do you need more trauma to become humble? Do you need more alcohol to calm down, and then you got to wait 3 days before it's out of your system? You know, I don't know what you do. We all do stuff, but that's something. This one. Okay, take the shoes off, please, and place the soles of your feet rather together. Those are two neat Qigong secrets. And wipe your feet together. Yeah, look at Nicole go. Those are her feet. Come on, Maggie. She's like a yogini. Honey pie, are you doing it?
Yes.
Okay. This is a really good one. So I've got to up the game all the time, right, to keep up with you? Because I know you're waiting to throw me out the door at any moment, everybody. So I have to find a way to make you realize more results. And rubbing your feet together is a very powerful thing. Smelling the soil, walking barefoot, wiping your hands, clapping your hands. This will get you more magnetic power. Keep going. Are you doing it, Maggie? Oh! Okay. Nicole's got a new toy there. We're gonna video that, so you're gonna be the example of proper feet wiping. Yeah. Now challenge yourself. How long can you make your breath? First part of every process, breathe deep, discomfort. Second part of every process, longer. Most important thing, great contact. Where are you going to get the great contact? Over time, you can have full spectrum great contact. You could have great contact with wisdom. You could have great contact with people. Your spiritual beliefs, nature, something for the body, something for the mind, something for the emotion, something for the energy. Great contact is your best possible resource for personal transformation. How you're going to embody that great contact means that you have to be a fighter. Fighting is messy, it's uncomfortable, it's very exposing. But you have no way to embody great contact unless you move and act differently. Who you are is good enough beyond your mind. Who you are in your mind, body, and behavior is just in process. So you're sort of covered in that you're more than your mind. You have this union with life that's beyond mind and body and circumstance. But we need to have it enter into mind, speech, how you listen, how you move. Don't fool yourself, quote, the way is in training. You can do training every time you wash the dishes. You can do training every time you get in the car. It's got to be specific. And write down anything you need to. You have to have specific training. So if you say 10 and you do the 10-second thing, now you're getting the transmission that I'm giving out. What happens is we never really trust anybody to let them in, so we never follow directions. And what I'm telling you from the School of Hard Knocks is that unless you follow specific directions, you're never going to learn anything. So I try to create a program that is like yours. It's not really mine. And the only thing I'm asking is that you make it specific. So you have this specific my favorites list. You have the specific Qigong things you like. You have your specific spiritual practices. All of it has to result, like I said to Andrea, are you able to relax better? Are you making progress with some habit? You know, this doing is not to create something more in your life. This class creates less things in your life. if you follow direction. If you don't follow the direction and then you just do and do this and do that, and then I'm going to do the other thing, then you become a do. Because we think I'm going to do something to get something. No, you have to do something to find trust and to relax and to be okay with being imperfect. Okay, longer breath, longer breath. Make each breath longer than the previous. Let me put this here. Oh. There's one engine, then there's another engine. When they're in sync, there's a third hum. That's the Om. Om is 4K. 4K is the sound of the universe, not the other 4K. 4K is the residual sound of the Big Bang. It's the one hum. It's the third sound that comes out of two engines being in sync. That's why it's such a powerful thing. There's a very unique sound when two engines get in sync. So you want your right side of your brain, left side of your brain get in sync. Top of your body, bottom of your body to get in sync. Sky, earth get in sync. All with you embodying it all because you're spacious. You'll start to feel that hum inside your body. That's the beginning of the power development. I really don't like saying Qigong and all that stuff anymore because it's not necessary. But people need a neat thing, Qigong. Whoa, that sounds cool. It's really just all common sense. Longer breath, longer breath. The more that we can be a conduit of some wise person in history, Joan of Arc, Buddha, Jesus, somebody, the more we can make contact with that, that's the most powerful thing. So, you have Lao Tzu, the founder of Qigong, or the person that created your form, One Finger Zen, same person that created Kung Fu. When you do forms, you want to conduit the teacher. That's what you want to do. I'm just a mini teacher. I'm not going to try to pretend to be more than that. But you can find people that you can conduit. What is it, some movie actress or something? You got to get the vibe of somebody else and let them help. Let them come in and through you. I don't know how to say that better. Let me see this way. So you see or know somebody that has some great intellectual thing you like, or some great physical thing you like. There's some movie actress, maybe something. So we don't learn by ourselves. As babies, we start bumbling around, we mimic. So this is the thing that causes us to become separate from the field of psychic magnetism. Because right now, you've got all kinds of psychic magnetism in your environment. We're all interacting with each other, and we're interacting with our neighborhoods and our worlds and everything. You've got to get beyond the field of psychic magnetism. If you don't get beyond that, you don't see the mystery. So the best way that you can get beyond that is that you receive transmission from particular people. So I don't know how to define that for you in a way that will work for you, other than write down on a piece of paper the list of people that you can get the vibe from and let the vibe in and through, but on your terms. Now, if you do it through nature, it doesn't have cognition, it doesn't have a psychology. So if you do it through nature enough, you'll start to be in contact with the outside of the window and whoever's could be walking by, or the people in the park, because you're unmoving. You see everything. Then you're going to start to see, oh, this person or that person, I want to embody some of those qualities. Like my wife. I want to embody some of those qualities. So I'm going through my transition. And, oh no. What was the point? Transitioning. Nobody's laughing. Okay. So, to appreciate some of the qualities of the individual, you have to receive them. Let them come through you. Right? So that's a common sense way to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Longer breath. In this forum, we're talking about chi power, physical power. Most important consideration, according to the scriptures of Qigong, is spirit. Now that we got some connection with spirit and the idea of mentoring, our own self-identity can dissolve. And you become more of yourself anyway when you do that. You'll be able to express yourself more exactly as you are. But in the meantime, we want to allow that to dissolve so that spirit touches energy. You see, if you have spirit in your mind and your body, now you have a lot of gravity, and that's self-defense, that's protection of your field where you are, in your house, in that building, in that street, in that country, this country, so forth. Because you develop more personal coherence and gravity. That personal coherence and gravity automatically gives you a sovereign sort of personal space. So something has to bless your mind, like spirit, mentorship, person, where the activity in the brain goes down into the body and from the body into the earth. You can't be holding up energy all the time and trying to shine. You need to reverse your search is more important. Why? Kingdom of Heaven's within you. So it's not within your head. It's within you. And when you find your feet, when you find the earth, you find extraordinary strength. It's like an earthquake sometimes. I mean, I don't know if you ever feel anything like that. When you land, can you see what it does in your environment? It's like an earthquake. I don't know exactly what means, but something about touching the earth is what we need right now to ensure our little happy club. And lucky for you, what I want is for you to ensure your own little happy club, which means your feet, your earth, not your friends, lovers, projects, things you need to do, not that. Your personal space. That means gravity. So you'll see that your mind is constantly in thought, right? So what hand on your head will cause you to relax? If you find me good enough to allow me to do that, then awesome. But like in the beginning of the class, I was saying, who's going to do that for you? What's your list? Because you're alone in that. You can choose to bring in any person in history you want. Patanjali from yoga, that's like the inner teachings of yoga. Awesome, super strength people. They're all kind of like here in your inner vision. But embodiment is healing, not thought. I'm not remembering right now who said the quote, but it might even been Eckhart Tolle. But there's a direct relationship in all scriptures from every tradition of enlightenment, which is basically the superpowers that came on the world. Then a bunch of people messed up their teachings. But you'll always see the more thought, the less enlightenment. So you can, for the next 3 seconds, have no thought. 1, 2, 3. You can receive from some transmitter, from some source, and understand more about what causes mental healing and physical healing. Well, there's a principle for you. No thought, feeling peace of mind instead of thinking thought. Bring your attention to the earth like heavy sleep, and you're sucking from the earth. You're soaking up from the earth. You're cleaving to the earth. If we have to die today, then too bad for us. But don't give up your opportunity to be healed in your spirit, which means this earth underneath you. And you'll find out that you have strength to heal yourself in your life if you can trust. No. Precise, exact principles that we have no hope of realizing much or understanding, such as feeling peace of mind instead of thinking thoughts, such as body becomes heavier and cleaving to the earth. You have to be very, very, very dumb, comes naturally for me, and just be like drumming a drum beat in your system. First, I'm going to take a walk. Then I'm going to do some prayer. Then I remember my body's supposed to get heavy. Then I remember feeling peace of mind. So you refer to these things, which is very offensive to the intellect, because we want to understand. But let me tell you, understanding doesn't exist in thought. Understanding exists in experience. On your My Favorites list, you can have divine, supernatural, miraculous intervention. You can find just a few moments that shift your entire destiny. You really, really can. At least a little bit, if not a lot, because people's destinies are programmed by the ripple effect of their most significant experiences in life. So you have a significant scary experience, that's it. Echoes for forever, your whole life. You have a significant wonderful experience, echoes your whole life. What if you fell in love and became happy today and became really, really energized? What if that happened today? You met your dream partner. Wouldn't that change your brain, hormones, breathing pattern, behavior? Wouldn't you be in a better mood? Yeah. So what's stopping that experience? Nothing is stopping that experience on the inside. And of course, if you have that on the inside, then stuff happens on the outside, right? It really works like that. There's one movie light projecting white light coming out of the movie projector, and on the screen, there's all sorts of dreams going on between all of us. Well, let's get back behind the white light, change the script a little bit, come out of the meditation, and then take some action to clear our paths so that we make things better with that person and that circumstance. You need to have a my favorite list that's so profound that you don't have a freaking thing to say. And that's what I try to equal. And luckily, because I just do it day and night, the words ought to be good. You shouldn't have much to argue about. But me, you can argue with. But those words that I'm putting out and those structures, go ahead and try to fuck with it. Come on, bring it. So somebody has to be good enough for you to let in, you know, some teaching or something. That's the only thing that ever works. All right, Nicole, tell me some person from, like, say, your childhood that was really good to you.
Does it have to be like a family member or a friend or a
Oh,
teacher?
God, no. Just anybody you want.
Okay. I actually think it's funny that you're asking me this question because my yoga instructor when I was in high school was a very important and influential person in my life, and I was thinking about her just now while we were doing the meditation and the deep
Sure it is.
breathing.
You see how that's a transmission? Now, the yoga person, if you need too much, which we're all like black pits of need, so we do need too much because we're not self-resourcing, we're not self-referring. They talk about in Panchanjali scriptures in yoga, which is the source of yoga, becoming self-referral consciousness. Where's that? Within you. You're finding all the answers within you. Okay, that personality, that person you remembered can only last for a while. And then that's why she was dismissed. But in quiet moments, that vibe that she put out, of that caring that she gave, was like light bulb, right? How about a place from childhood that was a beautiful scene in nature? Oh, you went off the mic. Not my fault this time. Okay, I think I hear something now. Oh, no. You have been muted.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
okay, cool. I took the headset out just in case that's causing the problem. So, a place that I went to a lot as a child and I still go to is like my grandparents' home on the North Fork of Long Island. It has like a lake behind it and is like in a
Wow.
with a beach nearby, so it was always like a very safe place to be in nature. There was like a lot of trees. Now I live in New York City, which is a very different energy, of course. But
There's a tree on sidewalks.
yeah, I'm very lucky. There are a lot of trees outside of my window too. So
There's only one kind of energy. It's not good or bad from the absolute point of view.
mhm.
Only our ability to process it. So one of the greatest devotions that we have to have is transmuting whatever's brought to us into a good vibe. But I want to make something very clear. You could go for days or weeks or months and not have thought interrupted and feel peace of mind. Everybody's having this experience now and be going half nuts. And then have one memory of sitting on that beach and have one memory of the yoga instructor. And in 5 seconds, everything shifts. So my favorites list, hopefully people and wisdom, is the devotion for our minds. And we have to be very, very like a robot. Or, you think about any sage or saint or anything, like Saint Maggie. You have to be ceaseless in prayer. Maggie prays like she prays so much and she goes to sleep. She's like, Our Father, who art in heaven. Do you do the Our Father thing too, or you just got it going where you're just natural?
No, it's just natural.
That's the best. Transmission. It's all in the transmission. So I don't know how to say it. The one student said, I'm going to tattoo it on my forehead. And of course, I've been laughing about that. Now I might start to advocate. Yeah. Tattoo on your, and 10, so that you can do 10 seconds so you won't forget. Or the my favorites list. Each pathway goes from churning to enchanting, whether it's the pathway of prayer or pathway of remembering the feeling of the beach and the feeling of the yoga instructor. It starts with banging out a beat. Bong, 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 bong. I'm going to remember the yoga instructor for the 400th time. And any skill is only developed by endless boring repetition. But we think that we're going to do something different. When you pray, you start doing it. I don't know if Maggie gets beyond the...
Well, you taught me to get beyond it.
All right.
But
So now, yeah,
I have to say something really quick.
please do.
Also,
Please shut me up.
When I first started everything with you, I was in like trauma mode from losing my mom.
Yeah.
And I just recently took a shift of
You took a what?
using like a shift.
Oh.
And the trauma is not there as much. And I mean, I have moments like the PTSD moments, but mostly I've accepted meditation as if I have a thought of her, instead of crying through it, it's a moment of like, she's touching my head and then we're walking together, and like good memories of mentorship time with mom. And I noticed that this is really good with grief. If you can get to that moment of joy with that person and not just crying over it nonstop, it's just like, I'm excited to get quiet now. And I used to be scared because I would have all those horrible memories, but now it's taken a shift of like peace. And I'm excited to have a moment with her again in spirit.
Is it embodied too? Like you feel it viscerally?
Yeah.
That's a big key for us.
It's very cool.
It's difficult and we never sort of get it right. I just want to put that out there. But when we do the drum beat of, I'm going to get my access through talking to Jesus, through doing the Qigong, through remembering the memories, and then that list becomes extraordinary. Can you imagine how many more wonderful memories you both have of your experiences of the past? So you need to undo the knots that bind by going back in time. And you cannot go back in time unless you stop. You stop and you have no idea. Maybe hopeless, totally hopeless. But in that hopelessness, there's faith.
I think sometimes it's scary to get quiet, especially when you're coming into something like this with so much trauma and anxiety and fear, and you've been through like the worst of the worst. Like you're right in that moment and it's fearful. Like, I'm going to get quiet and all that's going to pop up. I don't want to do it. But I guess for whoever ends up listening to this later, because I know it's recorded, that once, like you said, the bubble pops and you kind of get through it, it's pretty miraculous and it's pretty amazing. And you look forward to getting quiet.
It's endless. It's endless.
It's endless.
Unless you can heal the whole world, which you can't. So you're limited. And that when you get done a cycle of self-healing, you're going to start over again, and maybe you're going to go into a deeper hell.
Great.
What does that mean, Nicole?
Do you mean like to me? Or
Yeah, sure. Or what does it mean to Maggie through your lips?
going deeper?
No, what does it mean to you?
I'm sorry. I get so nervous when I'm on, like, called on.
This is going to be sold all over UK. People are going to be using this as their template for enlightenment for like thousands of years.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I feel like now the attention's on me. I'm so nervous.
She's blushing. Honey bunny, see her blushing?
I'm so. Yeah. Oh. No, I was also listening to what Maggie was saying because with my yoga instructor specifically, like I actually found out 2 years ago that she had passed away back in 2015, and I was actually looking for her to reconnect, and I Googled her to get like a LinkedIn or an email because I knew she had changed her address, and I found her obituary. So that was like very traumatic in like a different way because she had like she put me on the path where I am now. Like she's the one who introduced me to everything that like kind of led me to where I am today. So, but you know, it's like it's nice because I kind of like what Maggie's saying. I was in that moment just now, like in the quiet, and I was also hearing what you were saying, but in her voice too. So it's like I knew she was
I don't need to
there.
be the teacher. You need to hook up, and Maggie, you need to give her some Jesus. Go ahead and call up right on the messaging. Oh, it's one of the best ones. Now back to this little question, if I may, Miss Nicole.
Okay.
When you get done a cycle of training, you really are going to experience more hell in some sense because you're going to be a better healer. And the more you do that, the more an awful lot of lives are in your hands. Then what are you going to do? So it's really endlessly humbling. So when you get done meditation, what does it mean that you might even face a bigger hell after your healing? Could you speak to that?
Yeah, I think it's I guess kind of what you were saying, like when I realize there's more to go through, it's like I have to start another cycle again, and I will I don't know, I feel like I'm tripping on my words.
No, it's really good. Thank you for working with me. You know, this is the thing that will stop us from feeling that we're going to get it. Maggie, we're completely attached to getting it and being in control. Totally different.
I definitely struggle with that too. I think like I'm definitely in a place where like you have to understand everything and like very like intellect driven. I mean, even my work is like all about like data and analyzing things and whatnot.
Never work.
What?
Never. Path to hell. You want real hell? Keep doing that way.
Oh, I
In other
know.
words, okay, push hands. Go ahead. Give me an arm. Go ahead, Nicole. Let me do it with Nicole here. Ready? I'm going to push right to right. Uh-oh. See, nothing. All right, push. Oh, I forgot I forgot now. Ow! Okay. Ow! Okay. Ah! All right. See? Nothing. Look, see? Nothing. So the energy and information is always going to cause you to instantly adapt. Push on me. Oh, she did that thing again. Now I'm pushing. Push. Fast, hard, up, down, whatever. Okay. So if I want to have more control with your physiology, push.
Mm-hmm.
All they have to do is accept you. Then I could dice up your body with pressure point strikes or with healing like a magic man. Because my eyes can see the coming of the Lord. He is bringing out the vintage of the grapes of wrath. There's stirred. Mystic eyes. Everybody, you know, says I have mystic perception and all. I don't want you to count on what you know. I want you to count on what you don't know. To dredge up more stuff so that if I push, put your hand up, please. I'll put it like this. Put it like
Sorry.
It's okay. Now I'm going to touch your wrist? Nothing. See? I went this far. And what do you have? Shock. I have shock if you were touching my wrist too. Push.
With my hand or my finger?
Whatever you want. I don't know if you, in the recording, you can look and see what's going on in my eyes and my psyche. But I'm like, you might be pointing to try to focus on my weakness or find somewhere where I would freeze up, but I'm not freezing up. I'm moving exactly in unison with you. That means that eventually, now put your hand up again, please. This is an advanced thing in Kung Fu and Tai Chi. Put it like that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And now I'll push, and now let's dance. Push. Faster, right? But you didn't adapt. Push. Okay. The energy and information that's coming at you could be completely different. Could be moving anywhere. The only way to have the ability to deal with more energy and information so that you can have more control and be more precise is this direction, which is void, which is not knowing, which is I have a problem and I need help. But if you stay stuck on the external, managing fires only, and don't give time to that inner refinement process, which is the fate of most people, then as you grow older, you lose the mystery because you think, I have to do this better. I have to do that better. Otherwise, I'll never have a house. Otherwise, I'll never have a lifelong husband or whatever. Push. Now I push. That's better. Okay, now while you're moving back and forth, you have perspective by seeing the space above me and the space around me. When you're thinking about your jobs and all the responsibilities that you have, what about the sky that's above the jobs? Now you can really be precisely on target. That if you need to find something on the thing outside to stop it or to slow it down, you can find it. Is it making sense to you? Left. Faster. Ocean speed wave response. Slower. So if you can only see me, then you won't be able to adapt because you don't have perspective. But if you see the space above my head and you're just sitting here, like you're sitting in a movie theater, and you're just watching, then the waves of response happen automatically. You're not even doing anything. So see the space above me and around me. Now you have the support of the sky above your head as well, and the earth underneath you. Now anybody walking on the sidewalk goes through a human washing machine when they walk by your house, because that's your field. And then as you make progress, your job, your house, or anything, you're going to find out more stuff in your biological biography that's hell itself, that just stinks, is wrong, misconfigured. And so you've got to find a way to develop enough power through your habits, how you sleep, who you associate with, what your training is, what your transmissions are. And eventually, you only become the student and you give up the idea of knowing and being in control. Then your thinking and your precision of action, whether you're making food or doing something at work, it just automatically skyrockets. Make your breath really long. Uh-oh, shoulder stuck. See the shoulder stick there? Anybody? All right, let's do right again. Push. That's good. All right, sky and earth. See, that was you were going like this. So then you just get 8 because all your focus was on me.
Mm.
So sky and earth, when you're talking or interacting with somebody else, push. And so now energy dissipates into space. So you're not constantly in a for and against with life. You see the mystery of it all as well. Now, if something finds a weakness, you don't have to be in control because the only way for you to evolve is to tell the truth about when a weakness is exposed and to surrender to it. So really, everybody else becomes the master and you become the only person that doesn't know. That's what my struggle is, to try to find out how I don't know or how I'm confused. Because everybody else projects knowing. The world projects knowing. So if you receive the job and if you don't try to be the healer, you're only responding. Healing is not a matter of energy. Healing is a matter of spirit. So you just stay with spirit and then your energy can go right to wherever the person's weak and just do a miracle or some version. Maggie, let's do left. Oh, she got me. Turn. Now watch her eyes, Nicole. You see her eyes are not with sky and earth right now. But now that I said it, she's going to switch. And you just go into a divine trance. That's right. Like the prayer place. Now you're invincible. Because I can't push anything. Let's try right. But you've got to stay conscious. It's like you're in the transcendental place, but you're also in the relative world at the same time. So you're asleep, but you're awake. That's master's place. Like this. Oh. See her left again? See if you could dice her up, Nicole, okay? So you would know where if you were being her healer, you would heal. Can we do left now, please? Push. Okay. Now I'm going to push. You see, we're so focused on healing the other person that we don't really have too much internal awareness. Look at the difference of the left and right. Watch the right. Push. And now I'm going to push. You see how her right shoulder is staying prominent? That's because this won't relax. Push. Now I can do that to you too. Next time I will. But push. All right, now sky and earth, Jesus and application. And adapt. So your body would turn this way, wouldn't it? Okay. Same thing with the field of psychic magnetism. If you're talking to me and you forget about the sidewalk, then you're not conscious. If you're talking to me and working with me and you forget about the park, or if you're in your backyard or something, then you're not here. You're subject object aware, meaning that, oh, I'm doing this class and the sidewalk is another world. It's not another world at all. That's it. Now see, that just got healed. Oh. Push. In Tai Chi and in Qigong, you do this with another person. You use each hand, right hand to right hand, right foot to right foot, and you go back and forth. And you'll see that from the beginning of our conversation now, the energy body is more permeable. That means there's less distance between you and your family and you and the sidewalk and you and everything. And you're seeing how it's all a big mosaic and it has one purpose, to try to heal you, try to heal us, but we're not listening. So we do practices and we do these things so we might be able to find a way to become receptive again. Let's go outside. a peek of this. Here's my desk. There's Holy Land. Look, Maggie, there's a hellbound Babaji and Amaji, satanic worshiper that I am. Maggie, you think Jesus loves me?
Yes, William, Jesus loves you.
Thank you. I feel better. We've got all this stuff on the garden to scare away the crows or birds. Look at that. You should see it when the wind's going. It is wild looking. I knew Jesus loved me. I just knew it. Okay. Let's go like this. Up to the sky, to the stars. Down like this. Bow to the sky and stars. Open up to the sky and stars again. Around the sides of the planet. Underneath the planet. Bend the knees. Soften the chest. Energy comes up through. And bless the forehead with it. So on your My Favorites list, there's something that you can go back in time for, and you can become absorbed to the degree where you'll be distracted from all your worries. If you have a devotional life, 10s, 5s, morning, whenever, you'll see the benefits will be cumulative. But you can't figure it out yourself. You're going to either have to trust what I'm telling you and do it or not. Prayer hands. Soil underneath you. Imagine the rich soil, the teeming life, the magma. Gather in. Bless the head. Remember, we're always trying to calm the cortex, because then you have brainwave coherence, inner looking, inner listening. Swallow down. Soften the chest so the head becomes to the heart goes to the body goes to the earth, and you rest, you land. If you land your feet right where you are, the relationship between you and whatever's in your environment, whoever's in your environment, is a lot different, because you have gravity. Everybody respects gravity. Then it's up to your behavior to see how effective you'll be in listening and talking. Prayer hands. And bow to the great cat idol. Uh-oh, Nicole's going to feel left out now. Look at him. Taz. Taz. All right. Wow. That's cute. You see that, honey bunny pie? Honey bunny pie.
Yeah, so cute.
Now, how many essences of nature, because when spirit touches the body, then the body becomes boundless. How many essences can you connect with? The trees, the mountains, bear fur, dolphin swimming, bull snorting. There's a lot of power and essence in this physical creation here. Try to open up to it. Do you hear the crows? Open up. Gather in. Yeah, open up all the way. And gather in from the inside of trees, from the bear fur, from the dolphin swimming, from the eagle flying, because that's all here, right? Touch the forehead, because that's where you need blessing to calm down so that you can find embodiment. Down through the body. And then when you reach the earth, it's a real landing. You really land. You always need to cycle down your attention because this is blown out of proportion. The mind doesn't need many thoughts. Matter of fact, the genius thinker doesn't think at all. There's no thought there. I'm not thinking about anything, right? When you're really natural, you're just whatever, say whatever, listen to whatever, be wrong, be right. You naturally can figure out the mechanics of the car and the whatever you need to do. It's just natural if you're in your centered place. To train your centered place, you're going to have to train. There's all the things that you were told in New Age world or in religious world of kind of being beyond problems and you don't need to train. You're already enlightened. You're already one with God. You're already everything. That's only the transcendental truth. The relative truth is all about training. You need to retrain your neurology. You need to find new education. Prayer hands. Om Baba. Look up and give a little bow to infinite space. Open up to the infinite space around the sides of the planet, beyond the stars, inclusive of the stars, underneath the planet and the stars. And bring up. Lift it up. And touch the head. So everybody has healing hands here, right? So you know what it is to heal another. How about your own brain? That's what you need to heal. Heck with the other. When they become part of you, then you can heal them. Until then, you better not worry about healing the other. This way, and just wipe down the face, inner smelling, inner looking, inner listening. Relax the chest. So the chest has to turn in. We want to do this with our chest and this with our heads. Don't do that. Do the head down, chest down, and then find the feet. Because when you have gravity, that changes everything. Let's turn a little bit. Look behind you. Keep going. That's good. Boy, it's really nice to see everybody doing it with some consciousness because, 3 weeks ago, I bet you didn't move like that. Or months ago, whatever. Baba. Keep going. Now, if you don't have the sky above your head, then you have no levity. There's no levity. If you're just in your brain, then you're not with the sky. So sky, earth, and turn. Sky, earth, turn. Now I can look at you for 1 second and know whether the sky and earth is there or not. It's very easy for me to do because I've done it with 1,000 people. So just know that you're going to be checked to see whether you have sky and earth. Okay. Now just focus on your left palm. And bring your left palm in back of you. And wash the field. In the air, there's all kinds of people. Believe it's real. And you want to just wash everybody. Just be the servant now. And then the right hand goes back. In the material of the building and the tissues of your relationships, you want to fortify, ground, make coherent, heal, discipline, all of that. You want to be the authority of whatever your rightful contribution is. This is a way that you can prepare to do that in your own private time by feeling the person in the walls and the people in the house and the sidewalks and world and news. And just washing gives you participation in their field because everybody wants good energy. Nobody's going to refuse that. Not a demon, not an angel, not anybody. So you get to participate in all of their skills, all of their abilities by just being a servant for a little bit. If your mind doesn't touch the sidewalk and touch the person and touch the building through your hand, then you're not following the instruction. You need to see that person and that tree and that building. You need to hear it. Sensorize means to use all your senses. Let your whole body should be an antenna. If you feel something that you're afraid of, then you know that you have a participating role in that. So you can wash yourself the same time you're washing the outside. Now let's balance a little bit. Maggie, you could create a whole dance show with that. Nicole, too. Holy Moses. And my honey bunny, we do a whole dance show with that. You should have seen us. You should see her going this morning. That's what she was doing. She was moving them hips like a belly dancer for Egypt.
Can we add that to one of our routines?
Yeah. Well, I thought about playing it. Don't tempt me.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm going to get it right now. Show you. Watch this. What is it? Toma. How do you spell it, honey?
Toma que toma.
Toma que toma. Toma que toma. Aha. Oh my God. Wait till you hear this. Score. Okay. Bounce to this now. Thank you, honey bunny. Oh. Commercial for Jack Daniels. So all the time that we're doing this, the first step, kind of exposure and all, we're all preparing for advanced meditation. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Yeah? Okay. Come on, honey, show them hips. She won't do it. She's too shy. You should have seen her moving this morning. Woo! Yes. Hands on ribs. And now can you breathe just moving the ribs? Bend in the knees, soften this part of the chest. So this comes in a little bit. Relax the elbows, relax your shoulders. If you put your hands on your body, you're going to have a very unique experience of centering. So this hands-on thing, I don't know if you heard me say, I developed for the trainers of the Olympic ski team. And the reason is I was tired of hearing everybody say they know about breathing and like nobody knows about breathing. And I'm like, how can I teach them in a way where it's going to work? And I came up with this hands-on breathing. Put your thumbs on your lower back like this. Now see if you can feel your lower back move. Can you feel your lower backs move? Is your lower back moving, Nicole? Oh, good. Maggie, you got it? Honey Bunny, you got it? Okay. Concentrate. Breathe in. Make your lower back move. Come on. Get your brain in your body. That's better. But who was I saying that's better too? It was to honey bunny pie. All right, keep going. Now let's do right hand on chest, left hand on belly. And now let's see the yoga breathing, Nicole. No, wrong. Watch. To the chest goes in, look. You got to soften this. Chest goes in, this part goes all the way around. Goes expands. So you should feel it like when you had your hands on your lower back. Okay. Always have a bend in the knees to find the earth. That's the ground for the brain. You got this down, huh, honey? It's working good now? Everybody's doing it. It's going to take a lot to retrain the panic breathing of up here. Because we do this. Not that you can't do that, but you only do that when you really need to be fast and when you're externalizing your perception. We need to more do the other kind of internalizing our perception and fortifying our roots and bringing the energy down and finding the earth. Because once you give up the mental obsession and everything and find the earth, you'll see that you can think better and everything. That's good. Back has to move too, and sides. And on the inhale, the chest is going to go in. See that? So you want to work towards that. You can't really see it, but look. So it's like everything's going down. Well, on the beginning of the inhale, the largest part of the lungs are down here, and they're like this. The smallest part of the lungs are up here. So the largest lobes of the lungs are down here. And the diaphragm goes from like this, dividing the upper half and lower half of the body. And it's a muscle that goes from here to here, from side to side. So when you press that down, it doesn't go like this. It goes like this, all the way around the sides, the belly, and the back, like this. So they call this the false dantian in Qigong. So you don't want to do this without the back, because that creates a hole here. It creates an energy hole. You want to be very all the way around aware down here. So when this diaphragm that's shaped like this, downward smile, front of this, this side of the body, the other side of the body, when that diaphragm pushes down, the largest lobes of the lungs open up like an accordion, because the largest lobes of the lungs are resting on that diaphragm. So it's of vital importance to let your mind take a deep breath and cause that kind of deep breathing. Let's go on to one finger Zen. You're opening up to the stars. You're bringing the stars in your head. The stars are going to brainstem convergence. That's nectar in your mouth, swallowing down the power. And then those stars go into the throat. Then those stars go into the heart. Oh. See the stars? Allow them to come into your head. Allow them to go into the throat. Ah. Allow them to go into the heart. Hum. Then bow. Like cotton candy, you should feel the energy between your hands. You always want to work with energy within your own field. Don't worry too much about projecting energy or healing or others or anything. You just want to worry about your hands, your energy. And then, of course, you can do all those things. Now, cotton candy or silk threads, you need to feel those magnetic loops, like the magnetic loops of the sun. Grab the ground with your feet as a way to bring it down. Smell the earth like this. And now press it together like a large balloon with pressure. And now open up. And a denser balloon that's harder to press. Open up. Largest balloon that's thicker and now even more difficult to press. Good. Sky and earth. Soften your eyes so that you're seeing everything at the same time. You're in your meditative trance now. You've brought spirit into your body, and now you're working with energy. Everybody's hands are hot or magnetic, yes? All right, like this. Did I forget something? Or you do this and then you go down here, adjust the hips. You don't want to have your hips forward or back. You want to be in the middle. So when you're doing this, you'll notice that one hip is forward, the other hip is forward, one hip is up, the other hip is up. So you want to adjust your hips, very important. It's called the belt meridian in Qigong. So this is the part of the protection mechanism, because when magnetism is strong here, it creates this magnetic thing out here. All right, so from this we go up here and like this. And like this. One, two, the wrist points are very important points. 3. So your magnetic pressure. Turn. One below the belly button, the other above. I forgot to do this, sorry. 1, 2, 3. One above, one below. Turn. Press. More intention, more magnetism, more density. Compact. Up. And now, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth. Remember, if you're looking around, then you're not within sky and earth. Press. Okay. And now up to the sky and the universe and the space and beyond and deity, and scooping up from the earth and coming down from deity and void and stars and earth. And press. That's good. Everybody doing good. Drop your elbows. And now, like this. 2, 3. Middle finger. Magma. 1, 2, 3. Out in front. Small circle. How perfect is it? Larger circle. How perfect is it? Larger circle. Bring it out. Down. Notice what's in back of you, surround you, earth, sky. Om. Left on top of right. Up beyond space, into deity, God. Bring it all down in between your palms. Stir. Finger. Out here. Small circle, larger circle, larger circle. Okay. 45 degrees with the feet. Original temple style Tai Chi form. All the weight. It's like a dance. Fun little dance. All the weight on the right foot. Step out. Put your left foot down straight. Turn in on your right heel. Again, 45 degrees with the feet. Heels touching. 45 degrees. All the weight through your right foot. Swing your left foot out. Put it down so that it's straight. So now your left foot is straight and your right foot's angled. All the way to your left foot. Turn your right foot in so that it's straight. Come back to balance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your left hand comes up like this. Your right hand goes over here to your left hip. So you're bringing your left hand up and your right hand palm up. Now you're grabbing a chi ball. I'm going to throw this chi ball to you. Let's see. Honey, I'll throw it to you first. See if you catch it. Whoosh. I'll throw it to somebody. Somebody catch it. Oh, you got it. All right, throw it to Nicole. Yes. Now, Nicole, you can eat it. And now, back 45 degrees of the feet. All the way in the right foot. Step out with the left, turn into the right heel. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The weight is going on the right foot. You're turning out to the left. This left hand is going like this. And the right palm is going up like this. And you're catching the ball of energy between your palms. And remember, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth, sky and earth. So your body's aligned when you're opening a cabinet, when you're sitting down, getting up, getting in and out of the car, all the time. Now you're grabbing the energy ball here. Let me see if you all got that. Okay. Looking good to me. Good. 45 degrees of the feet. All the weight on the right foot. Step out to the left. Turn in on the right heel. Come back to center. Adjust your hips, adjust your shoulders, adjust your head. Relax your belly. Relax your chest. Relax your shoulders. Head top stretches up to the sky. Feet, dig into the earth. Grab the ground with your feet. 1, 2. There's always going to be 5,000 instructions, so don't ever think like, oh, we learned this and now I got it. Forget it. I could say 1,000 more things. I haven't been saying enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the right hand is at left hip, left hand is at left shoulder, and you got to catch the chi ball. Okay, who wants to demo that? Who wants to demo it? Who wants to demo it? Yeah? Okay. Let's see. Can somebody do it or no? Okay, please. Can't hear you. I don't have the I have to switch the mic. Hold on, I'll do it.
It's okay, I'm muted.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm unmuted now though. Do you want me to explain the steps or just to go
Whatever
through?
you like.
I have my feet at 45 degrees, weight on the right, stepping out to the left, left foot straight,
Good.
turning the right foot even, balancing the weight across the 2 feet, checking hips, shoulder, and
Yes.
one.
Oh, slow down.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Feet on the right, and I move my right hand under and my left hand over to hold the chi ball.
That totally will work. Good job. Maggie?
I'm having a hard time with the feeding in the beginning,
The feeding.
just because I can't see your feet. So I'm putting my weight on my right foot. Ah, I wasn't starting like that. Okay.
My feet turn when I do that turn, but there's always endless adjustments, so there's no use. 45? 1.
45.
See?
Oh.
Yeah? Okay.
Nope, messed up.
That's okay. You know, I don't know if it's 1,000 people. I'll bet it is. I've taught this to 1,000 or more people, and almost never does anybody remember the moves.
I know, it's funny.
Well, it's because I'm going into a trance. So really what I'm doing is giving you energy. I'm trying to distract you with the movements. I don't care about the movements. The only thing I care about is advanced
No.
meditation, really. So that's why. Very rare. Good job, Nicole, by the way, with that. But 45 degrees, all the weight in the right, step out, go straight. So this is meditation in motion, how you open and close the door. This will give you more healing in your body than about anything I know of, just to do with a physical thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the left hand is going to make a counterclockwise circle. That's right. And it stops at the left shoulder, below the left shoulder. Yeah, so you go like this. Go ahead. And then bring your hand in at the end and be above your left shoulder. I mean, below your left shoulder. Yeah, that's it. And then you turn out and the left and right hand grab a chi ball. Okay. When you're here, then you put all the weight on your left foot. Now you step forward with your right foot and bring your right hand out like this. Now your right hand. Start over, 45 degrees. Right foot, left foot, turn in, straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, Maggie. Stay straight up and down. 6. Weights on. That's right. 7. Your right foot steps right in front of you, and you bring your right hand out this way. That's very good. Don't try to remember it all. Meditate. I know my honey's seeing if I clean my office or not. See, honey? That's why I'm showing it, and I cleaned it a little. I know you were looking like, oh no, he's showing the room. This one. Like this. And, okay. We didn't do muscular exercise so much. We could have done that. But do you see how this full spectrum approach can set you up to be able to have divine communion in a very, very unique way? Do you want to write this down if you have any note ability? Full spectrum, intentional approach. Because we're just trying to find one moment that clears the air, one moment that cleans things, one moment that changes things. So if you have full spectrum, intentional approach to this thing called devotion, and you have to have the emotion of devotion, the devotion emotion. So what is the sweetest song, and what is the greatest memory, and what is the most wonderful aspiration for your future? You have to get to the place of emotional content. Now, since the mind is so scattered for all of us, it's difficult to just go right into it, to just shoot up a prayer, as they say in Christian land, right? That has some benefit, of course, and you do get contact. But what we have to have is embodied presence, the presence of something wonderful, some beautiful magic nature scene, some deity, some mentor. We have to get the feeling, and it's got to become embodied. So without a significant preparation, it's going to be very, very difficult to find those moments that ripple, moments that really change our neurology. So you remember the only species that survive in nature are those that self-reinvent. And each of us have had challenges we had to face to self-reinvent, just to be breathing. And in each of us, it's been extraordinary, some of the things we've done, just to still be breathing. So I'm just proposing to you this idea of why not self-reinvention for the sake of your own self-reinvention, not for the sake of overcoming your karma or overcoming your circumstance. That'll happen too. Or doing something out here. I'm going to get a business. I'm going to get it. What about time and energy for this continued education, like Patanjali says in the yoga scriptures, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Samyama. Dharana is precise concentration. That's the summary of yoga. Dharana is precise concentration. First, it's a fight. You get into a stretch, you do the thing. Dhyan is you start to observe the flow of thought. That's the word for meditation. Samadhi, rapturous disappearance. You go beyond your own self. You go beyond the drop and pop that happens in your environment, unless you've been able to establish a very protected personal space. You got to go in the closet. You got to get up in the middle of the night. You got to do whatever you got to do. Dhyan results in samadhi. Samadhi results in samyama. Samyama in the yoga land means all these things put together. Now you're precisely concentrated. Now you're the observer, watching the flow of thought and watching the flow of the movie reel of your life. And your experience of your mind and body is very coherent. So you have an insulation. In science, it's called Meissner magnetism. It means that you have so much coherence in your mind and your body that in science, any negative particle or positive particle grounds when it comes, just like that we ground when we come to the feet of the master. So somebody's the master. Let me tell you, there's masters all around you. And when you can codify those masters, like the yoga teacher for this much, and the friend in childhood this much, and the experience of the professor maybe is something this much, the new love this much, it's all percentages. But when you find the feet of the master, then you go ahead and receive it. And since you're defining what that is, William, 12%, hopefully I get a little bit because I want to be of help, but I don't want more than I deserve because I'm busy trying to save my own ass. This is the How to Heal Your Dumbass class, and I'm head dumbass, and I have no doubt about that. So I'm over like it being a business pretty much or ego thing. It's not a game for me, this. So you find that list, and then you can go, oh, I can receive my honey bunny's hair. I can receive. And you become a recipient of grace, a recipient of a good vibe. So what's that list? Develop that list. Now we're going to go into meditation. I'm going to try to find something here. What can I find? Does it work for meditation? Oh my God, it's such a cool video. I'll put it in the group. Now meditation. Sorry that, well, you won't shut me up, so I can keep going. You have to calm down so much that you find no breath, no thought. Okay? So that's your GPS. You don't have to worry about what you know, how bad things are, how good things are, what the world is, what the future is, Armageddon or not. You're going to a different place. Let's start to slow down now. Let's get some flowing water. Get your list. Start to feel the vibe of the good interaction with the yoga teacher who shifted your entire life. You're coming to Jesus moment. Get it? But in really real way. You're finding Qigong, life-changing. You're falling in love. Start to be specific. And fall in love and become happy. Forget the rest.
Managing your projects shouldn't feel.
Okay. Feel inside your own body and mind the calls for your attention, for your work, what you have to get done, your children, your whatever's next, in your day, and let it dissolve in your own body because you have extraordinary space. Let the meeting point between you and others be your own spaciousness, to practice that. And we're developing that spaciousness now with the rules of longer breath. It's a principle. So you should be following that guidance and making each breath longer. You can count the seconds and just add a second each time. Add a second to each breath. I'll post these points in the group. But another point will be nasal airflow and light through your eyelids. This will help you to focus. If you haven't been seeing the light through your eyelids previously to now, it's because you've been wandering and thought too much. You should have a sweet taste in your mouth almost immediately. More awareness of all of the body. And the body is heavier, like deep sleep. Nasal airflow and light through the eyelids. Touching nature, getting the feeling. The reason we do workshops and classes and new experiences is because we want to get the feeling. Because when you get that transmission from the class and the song and whatever, that's all you need. Now, how are you going to get the transmission in your own time, in your own way, and improve upon it so that it's more embodied and it affects relationships and behaviors and karmas more? Longer breath until it naturally pauses. happy. Happy because you're choosing to be independent of your circumstance. Contented in your own mind and body. And enjoying. After the natural pause, you have a sigh of relief. And in that sigh of relief, you discharge toxins, toxic vibes from inside of your body. Go out of you, grounding everybody in the environment. That's what fertilizer does. Then you make your way towards another moment of natural pause. Like the step one again, you have some deep breaths, remove the covering, slow it down a little bit. With the second step, longer breath, 1 second more on each breath. Make your way to another pause steadily. So you're following this 3-step plan for advanced meditation. In Qigong is called embryonic breathing. Common sense, peace of mind without thought, because of receiving great contact. The mind is always going to want to interrupt it. So you need to kind of start over, step 1, step 2. Find that person, thing you love, receive from it. You have the experience of transcendence. And practice that no thought, no breath, and the pause as instructed. And then, sigh of relief. This is all against everything you've ever been taught. Mostly, you know. This is not the programming of how am I going to control everything, how am I going to go forward, how am I going to get this and do that. This is the opposite. This is trust. And It's the key to all successes, all doings. It is what you're here for. Evolve your insides. That's your genetic legacy that's going out in the air. So to find out more of the curses and the bad vibes and the fears and the shocks and the traumas, and to find more about your experience of that in the step one, and allow to yourself to not know who you are or what you're becoming through the influence of the great contacts, which you can always find another stream or a person or teaching something. So now you're the recipient in the step two. You're being worked on by someone else, something else. The water is just washing. You come back to yourself. From that moment of washing, of realizing it, and you find the ground, you find your feet. That brings power from the environment to upgrade neurology, to clean out karma in this vast field. So you got 3 steps, 3 kinds of breathing patterns. You don't want to be stuck in no breath or stuck in step 2 or stuck in your thought. You just follow those steps. When you want to go deeper and have more physical and psychological realization, go back to step 1. When you want to have more stability, stable mind, contented body, go to step 2. Add 1 second to your breath. Start that step again. Longer. You can't stay in the transcendental place and you can't stay in the suffering place. And you cycle between these 3 experiences in real meditation. The happiness is the other point. You literally are becoming more biologically happy by cycling through these steps. You access it in transcendence, you integrate it in step one. Well, that's enough knowledge, isn't it? Oh, Nicole's gone. Nicole, Nicole. Oh. Just kidding. So I talk too much and I have too many principles. Do forgive me, but if you concentrate your mind on a lot of these different rules and regs of how you play the game of advanced meditation, you've got a significant prep. You've got lots of things. We all have things that we have to work on in ourselves. Terrible. But if you find that about yourself and go through this prep, mind, body, spirit, you're going to find better meditation ability, better spiritual experience ability than about anything. So that's it for today. I'll see you in a couple weeks, I believe it is, isn't it? Every other Saturday and then the last Thursday of every month. Hopefully somebody else will be here. If not, we're more than enough. Blessings. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.